back, everyone. We're back.
Hello.
And next up, I mean, the flag might give it away.
I might give it away. Just a little hint here. Um, we had continued our adventure to Kemri,
Which you might know as Wales, which is why the
Wales.
Welsh flag, but that's an English word, and the English. So, yes.
So there
Shall
we
we
go.
show when last time you saw us, we were in Glasgow, Scotland. And we did not take the train because, wow, was that going to be expensive.
Oh, the train.
Apparently this is not a common trip.
No.
So we took a bus.
Yes.
A very long, tedious bus.
Very long bus. We practically spent the entire day on the bus.
Yeah, so we jumped on the bus and we
Yeah.
were like, yay, buses are so awesome, but I mean, it was okay. It was cheap.
Yeah. And then we got dropped off at the bus stop, and
There was nothing there.
there's nothing there. So we're walking
So
all over the
over
place
here
trying to
it's-
find a
here is
taxi
Cardiff.
pickup.
This is all Wales.
Yeah, so we stayed in Cardiff
Yeah.
for the most part.
You're jumping ahead. I was just
Sorry.
trying to establish. The place they dropped us, we took so long because it was nighttime and nothing was around. There were no people. To figure out where we could find a taxi. There was a taxi station. We found it eventually. There just
Yep.
weren't any taxis there.
Yep.
We had to wait, and there
And then
was one that
they
showed up.
randomly showed up, and then we're like, thank
but
goodness.
it's hard to find
So-
a taxi place at night when there are no taxis.
Now,
Not as obvious.
we ended up being able to, it wasn't very far away from our hotel. It's just, it was a lot because a new city plus all of our baggage.
Whenever you're disoriented
But-
into a city, is the worst time to be like, hey, with all of our bags, let's just roll
Let's
there.
just roll on to the hotel. But anyway, so let's get the
Party started.
party started. Yeah.
So some pictures from
So-
the bus.
And as you can see, very
much more
very
Welsh.
vast weather and land.
Right, because before we were
changes.
farther north and it felt much more like winter. Even in the last days of Glasgow felt winter. Coats on every day.
Mm-hmm.
We're dropping down hundreds of miles or kilometers,
Yep.
whichever way you want to say it. You saw how far that was.
So one picture is us still in Scotland, and the other one was us approaching.
Right.
or
Some of
we
this
were
is
in
obviously
Cardiff.
England, and
Wales.
we're sliding through. And ta-da! We made it to.
We made it to Cardiff.
This statue was not very far from us, but it also seems
kind of, sort of around where
Yeah,
we were dropped off. Wasn't
we,
it? It was like, kind of like across the way.
I have no idea where we were dropped off. How about that? This was very close to where we stayed. I don't think it was near where we were dropped off.
Oh, I see.
Um,
Okay. He's not. He's just some rich guy that lived in the city for a
Yeah,
while
he-
and has a monument.
Yeah,
You know.
he owned lots of land, like the whole land, all of it.
To the left there
Oh,
is
yes.
what Cardiff is kind of known for.
So if you're a nerd of a certain variety,
A Doctor Who fan in
yes,
any way.
very specifically,
Yes.
where do you think it films? The answer is here.
Yep.
A lot of Doctor
So-
Who, the outdoor stuff, the indoor stuff, it films here.
Was there an impact to why we decided to visit Cardiff? Yes. It had a little bit of...
Yeah, I mean,
Little-
we don't
little
need to
bit.
like take pictures at every outdoor place, but I mean, anyway.
So that was just in one of the random stores.
So let's talk about the library.
Oh, their library was amazing.
So I want to just take a step back and briefly explain the main city center. Is that cool?
Yes.
For just
yes.
kind of a ramble?
Yeah, yeah.
So they have a giant mall. And the mall is kind of arcadish, which I mean, like, it's a single hallway. Okay? And it has a few off turns, but it's multiple floors, it's really long, and in fact at the very end of it hooks to another mall. And across the street is, you can't drive there. This whole area is just for pedestrians.
Off-foot traffic. Yeah.
And so lots of little shops on the outside of the mall are opened up. And where is this big mall? It's right across From the library.
From their library.
Or you can say it reverse. The library is right across from the mall. It doesn't matter. It's still true.
So it is literally a hop, skip, and a jump from the library to the mall.
The library even has apartments in it. Like, talk about a dream. Can you imagine?
It was crazy.
Wait, I said that wrong. The mall has apartments in it, and that's just a hop, skip, with no cars to get to the library. I said it right that time. That was right?
Yes.
Okay.
So, one thing, moving on.
Yeah, we're moving on.
So that kind of gives you an idea of the city center.
We'll at least give them a different picture.
But one thing to be said about Cardiff and Wales in general is that they have a lot of their pre-colonized pride. And one of the things that they kept going was the language. Something that, us from Hawaii, we can kind of understand that need and want. And so they have not only just a giant section in the library that's just books and palm books that are just in Welsh, but they also have a lot of books on how to speak Welsh, both at any age, if you're a child or if you're
adult learners,
an adult,
everything.
And they even went
everything.
as far as to help people who speak other languages besides English also learn Welsh.
Yep.
So they're very serious about preserving their language, and everything on every mode of transportation we'd been on.
Everything's
also
in both. Yeah,
had both languages, just like in Hawaii.
We did talk to somebody about the Welsh requirements compared to Hawaiiana and Hawaiian language. Do you want to jump in with that?
So, growing up in Hawaii in the 80s and 90s, we had a kumua teacher that came, once or twice a week and taught us the culture and language.
And what grade does that go to?
It's usually through primary school.
Okay.
Now, for the Welsh, they learn Welsh from primary all the way through secondary.
And it's not treated as an extra little cultural activity. No. You're falling, aren't you?
And it's actually not really treated as a foreign language. It's like this is just part of
the curriculum.
The curriculum.
If you go to school through all the grades here in Wales, you're going to have to pass tests in Welsh.
And the gal we spoke to, actually, I had asked her, I said, could you please say how to say the proper way or the Welsh way to say the city? And it's Cymru.
Cymru is...
Wales.
Yes.
Wales, yes. So it's like the Toyota Camry, but it's instead of Camry, it's Cymru. So Cymru
that's Wales.
Is Wales.
Yes.
So that was a nice little lesson to
learn.
Right,
and so everyone, if you grew up there, can speak it.
Yes.
To some degree. And some people keep it, some people don't. But even if this is not your ethnicity, this isn't your culture, you just live here, you're an immigrant, your kids will still be learning it. This isn't viewed as something just for the native population. All right. So the library was really incredible, not just because of how much Welsh things they had, but because how many community services were here. They had stuff for immigrants. They had stuff. They had a space where members of the representatives, and I'm trying to think in American, like city representatives.
City council, councilmen, that's like their equivalent.
They would have a seat somewhere inside this library where you could discuss the types of matter that city council could address.
Yep.
And that's part of their library, where you could be like, I have a beef. How do we fix this?
Yeah.
And somebody who's actually there, not just some paper pusher,
right,
had to sit in the seat.
So the library was just an incredible resource.
Absolutely.
Incredible resource for
daycare
the people there.
And other things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Moving on.
Yeah, because that's a lot.
Shopping.
Yes.
So they have a lot of eclectic shops.
Yeah, so we have a lot of arcades not in the mall. Across the street from the mall,
there was another little shopping area.
There's 5 or 6 more arcades. So for those of you who have not maybe watched all of our videos or how obsessed we are, malls to me are kind of squarish with multiple paths, like an American mall.
Yep.
When I say arcade, I mean something that might be open to the elements.
Mm-hmm. There's usually an end, like an entrance, and a not like an entrance and exit, but there's usually like one of each.
It's like, imagine a pedestrian street that got turned into indoors.
Yeah.
And so there are shops on both sides, there's a roof, and there are sometimes doorways, sometimes not. And there was a bunch of these little ones all throughout the area.
All over.
That big mall, it still looked like an oversized arcade with one long road, but it was clearly a mall. It had multiple floors, it had golf and other things inside.
Mm-hmm. It was crazy big with lots of stuff to do, and well, I guess more about that in the next video. Moving on to
getting
through
distracted.
This one. Yes, the big event that is part of the city.
Historic Wales.
So they are
souvenir shop.
They are huge, and a big tourist attraction is this area, and so they have this gigantic tourist shop that was it was huge. It was absolutely big.
It was actually I think like 7 stories tall. I'm making that up.
From everything you might
bigger
need.
On the inside.
Pens, pencils, little shot glasses, whatever you love to collect, they had.
Yes.
For and if you wanted it to say Wales or if you wanted to say Kemery.
Or your name.
And the big thing is next. Well, that was anticlimactic. It's their castle. Their castle's gigantic.
I think you didn't realize what was next.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was next.
Sorry.
This is the outside of the castle. We're
building up to it. So these little animals are on the wall. So this is the shape of the castle, the Cardiff Castle. So I wanted to give people some context. Here they are sitting there. They look very cute.
Kind of, yeah, a little.
La la la. There's
me.
Kind of a side angle.
Walking ahead. Oh yes.
Nice little Pride Progress flag, right?
Very open city.
Right next to the and there it is.
Oh, there.
That's the. You want to do it again? And
then this is the big attraction.
Dun, dun.
So, now these are
I rearranged the slides.
These are the gates. This is the entrance.
Dun dun
clearly.
dun dun dun. Show another picture.
And this is a little closer up
because we're getting in there.
Because we're getting in. Now
we've just walked through.
So we've walked through. Inside. I turned around and took a picture of what was behind me. Now you think, oh, okay, they're in the castle. No.
So that
was the wall.
Right. That's what that is talking about. So here it is.
And here are the grounds.
This is the inside.
So some picnic tables, obviously some dividers because usually there's huge lines.
Yeah.
Huge.
Oh, look, it's another red dragon.
Another red dragon.
They are trying to help you.
But it's just a giant. This is the moat.
This is the moat around the actual castle.
Thing. Okay. Oh, here we go. We're getting to some castle. This is still more wall, I think.
Yep.
More moat.
Yep.
Oh, with a little duck.
2 ducks.
2 ducks. Yes.
Maybe even
2
3
ducks.
if you look carefully.
And
there's the actual castle.
That's one angle of the castle. So we
can you spin it a little?
We can spin it a little. Oh, there we go.
Is that's the castle?
That's the Cardiff Castle.
So just to go back to show it again, but more dramatically. So we start out here on this outer wall. We then went into the giant epic courtyard, and the thing is, this inner thing is the actual castle, surrounded by a moat. And this is kind of the wall for the castle.
Now, to make a note, we did not actually go into the castle because
we're cheap.
Because we're cheap, and it actually costs money to go into the castle.
Right.
But it was free to go all around the grounds.
We just keep going out of frame.
I can take pictures. We can enjoy when it wasn't drizzling.
So.
We can enjoy the park.
There's a cafe in there.
Oh, yeah, there's a cafe in there. Yeah.
So, like, from this picture, if you look to your left, which I mean, I get it, the picture's
So-
out of frame. There's a full cafe.
Quite a few people we just saw people just on their daily jog, just coming in,
Doing the thing.
jogging around
Yeah.
the grounds, and then jog back
So,
out.
see, this is a pretty big area.
So
This is acres,
we saved a few quid as
they say.
as they
yeah,
say.
if you could.
But it's breathtaking.
Absolutely.
Like, I had a tear.
This castle is almost as
down. It
old
was
as
so beautiful.
as me, because we're old now, right?
So we gave you a few hints of what's to come.
We did.
We did.
Some of those
A
were intentional.
mall and something else.
Yeah.
Maybe a few other things.
You never know.
There's going to
See,
be
I was
a
trying to be
museum
dramatic with, like,
somewhere.
Da da da.
So we hope you liked a little
Yes,
bit
this
of
is
an
just a little bit of a
overview,
teaser,
touch
just teasing you a little bit here. Hope
of
you
our experience.
enjoy it a lot, and you know what? Till next time,
Till
everyone.
next time.
Do, 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 do.